hands together to welcome on stage Quizmaster Big Brain.
A big hello to all of you and a warm welcome from me, Pig Brain, as we pick action here with yet another cluster. This time we slowly start moving towards the eastern side of India, and we're going to pick action with what is traditionally the steel segment. If you actually look at the public sectors of India and if you were to map good quizzers, you will run into the Steel Authority of India more often than not. And to add to that, in that region, you've got other steel majors like Tata Steel and so on. I've often commented when I go there, and in the era when we used to do this as ground events, I used to say I feel like I'm part of a steel conference. And it's a comment I've often made. Today, it feels no different, but this is the cluster that we are bringing to you today. It's Orissa, Jharkhand, Bihar and Chhattisgarh. It's got some remarkable quizzers. A very high intensity of engineers who work in these areas, and a very, very good talent pool when it comes to quizzing. They prepare for these quizzes as well. So it really gives them that added advantage, and they tend to move right into the national finals more often than not. As far as the format is concerned, we've got 2 wildcards for you for the 12 who've qualified, of which we are witnessing 6 at this moment. 3 out of them will qualify. But before we move into introducing them to you, a quick reminder that every question will last 5 seconds and there will be only 1 attempt as defined by the fair play protocols of Tata Crucible. It's also really wonderful that all the contestants have given us a self-declaration to allow them to be monitored on separate screens by the event management team as we play out Tata Crucible. That having said, it's just 5 seconds for them to process whatever I have to say and press the buzzer and give me the right answer. So all of that is in 5 seconds. So that's pretty much what one can do in that time span. But a quick reminder to all of you watching this quiz that we will not be having the buzzer indicator lights during these questions. We don't really have the time because we move very quickly from one wildcard to the other. But we will have that during the final, as also the audience questions. Let's begin by taking a look at our 6 contestants here today, of whom 3 will make it to the cluster final. Starting with Rahul as our first contender here today. He represents SAIL from Bokaro. Welcome to you, Rahul, into this wildcard. Neighboring him, also from SAIL Bokaro, are Subhashish. Welcome to you, Subhashish. Along with Subhashish, we have Rishi. Welcome to you. And we have Anand. Welcome to Anand as well. All these are our contestants coming in from the Bokaro plant of SAIL. While we have with us from Rourkela, Sampad Mishra. Welcome to you, Sampad, into our wildcard here today. And from Bhilai, representing them is Umesh. Welcome, Umesh, into this wildcard. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you are. All 6 of them lining up from the Steel Authority of India. And it's no surprise, Tata Crucible in that region is powered by the steel majors of our country. For the moment, 10 questions, plus 1 if they get it right, minus 1 if they get it wrong. They're allowed to stop me and tell me they know the answer while I'm reading the question. Please note, nothing appears on your screen, so it's only me that you have to listen to and decide when you want to press the buzzer. The moment you press the buzzer, I'll stop reading the question. So if we are ready, 3 of them will qualify. Time to get started with this cluster wildcard. We'll start with question number 1. In the late 80s and early 90s, this group was involved in the distribution of T-series audio cassettes, CDs, etc. Sri Sant Kripa Appliances, Anand Raj.
It is SSK, like Siska LSD, the group.
Well answered, plus 1. Siska, today trying to become an electronic major, was originally into distributing T-series, etc., until they changed into the modern version of themselves. Question number 2. It was a non-political, non-religious, international service where membership was only by invitation. Started in 1905. Rishi is giving it a shot. Yeah, Rishi.
Well, I'll go for Rotary Club.
Well played. Well played on Rotary Club. He'll get himself a +1 on that. Moving on to the third question here. They've got 1 apiece. Rishi is on 1. Anand is on 1. Question number 3 from this cluster. It's a trademark of a very well-known thing that we use regularly, especially in the modern world of social media. It was originally created by Francis Lofrani in 1971 when he was working for a newspaper, France Sawyer, and is trademarked by the Dash Company. The dash actually represents this creation in its original form. What is this that we so commonly use, especially on social media and today on all the chat forums that we operate in? Subhashish.
Is it the smiley?
Oh, +1 to Subhashish. Good guess to take. The smiley is absolutely right. The original founder of the concept of smileys. And that gives him a +1. So 3 of them on 1 apiece. As we go to question number 4. In December 2020, as recently as that, which brand partner of Lionel Messi celebrated his 644th goal at Barcelona, which broke basically Subhashish? Not waiting for me to complete. Go ahead.
Budweiser.
Oh, lovely. He's got that absolutely right. Well played on that one. When Messi broke the Pele record of 644 goals, superbly answered. Budweiser, his partner. Question number 5, as Subhashish moves to 2. Question 5. The inspiration for this product came from a challenge that was run by the Ford Foundation. The challenge was to improve the fitness of children while improving urban playing surfaces. Invented in 1965 by James and Robert, they were employees of the Chemstrand Company. Anand Raj.
This is AstroTurf used in hockey.
Beautifully answered. Perfect. +2. So he moves to +2. For the moment, question number 6. Which brand was essentially launched when its founder saw a quiz contest on Doordarshan and children answering questions on Greek mythology? Umesh.
Mastermind, India.
Is a -1. Well, the founder of this company saw children answering questions on Greek mythology, but they did not know who Lord Rama's mother was. And that prompted the owner or the founder to create what we all enjoyed as Amar Chitrakatha. Well, -1 to you on that. 4 questions remaining as we go to question number 7. Here we go. It's an iconic brand extension, also trademarked as the Cal. The purpose. Sampath Mishra is very quick on that, just on the Cal.
Yeah, the brand is about calorie reduction of calorie currently in the heart day. The brand came up with this thing, the Cal.
-1, Sampath, stopping me very, very early on that one. Called the Cal. It is a trademark of the company. This is the famous Pyrali calendar. They have trademarked the Pyrali calendars as the Cal. And I was going to lead you into a lot more information, but he chose to stop me at that stage. So he gets a -1. Subhashish and Anand will watch it very carefully now because they've got 3 questions to go. And these are all engineering brains who will do their own permutations and combinations very quickly. As we go to question number 8. Spectacom Technologies. Spectacom Technologies is a very famous entity. Rishi has gone for it. Yeah, Rishi.
Yeah, I'll go for Anil Kumble, the owner of Tata.
You will go for Anil Kumble as the promoter of that company, +1. Extremely well played. Anil Kumble is absolutely right. Here's the next one. Kagyur Tulku Rinpoche is famously known to have been married to Bollywood actress Mandakini. However, Kagyur achieved fame as a 3-year-old. Anand Raj is taking a chance at that. Go ahead, Anand Raj. It's a risk.
I think, yes, he was the brand ambassador for Murphy Radio.
As a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
In the olden days, one of the radios that ruled this country was the Murphy baby, as he was famously called. Anand Raj surely into the cluster final. Well, he gets on to 3, so that's an unassailable position, but he took a chance because a -1 at this stage could have really given Rahul a very good opportunity. Final question, not necessarily going to make too much of a difference to the outcome of the 3 going through, because 3, 2 and 2 is very clear, but the final one. In the modern world that we live in, what does the acronym HENRY, HENRY, stand for? Think in terms of earnings and income of people. HENRY. Nobody on the buzzer. 5 seconds of time ticking. HENRY is a modern term for high earners, not rich yet. Well, people earn high, but they spend high, so their richness factor is very low. So, not necessary that all people with high earnings are rich. It's a new index. And a lot of countries have this problem with a lot of Henry population. And it doesn't really make a difference here today to the outcome of this wild card, as 3 of them go through from here. All 3, of course, from SAIL. But we've got SAIL Bokaro going through with Anand leading them into the fray. Subhashish from SAIL Bokaro as well. And along with him, Rishi, who's also from SAIL Bokaro. So it's a SAIL Bokaro sweep of this wild card, as all the 3 of them will make it to the final. On the other side, 3 more will qualify to join these 3 in the cluster final. The other wild card coming up on the other side. Hello everybody, welcome back as we are moving into the second wild card from the same cluster. 3 of them qualifying into the final, as you just witnessed in the first part of the wild cards. We're of course playing the cluster of Orissa, Jharkhand, Bihar and Chhattisgarh. In the first wild card, we saw all the steel majors dominating. It's still in large majority here, and like I said, it always feels like a steel conference when you go and do quizzes in these regions. But we've got some flavor coming in this wild card. So we will take a look at who they are in just a moment though. Quick reminder, of course, on the fair play rules. 5 seconds is the duration of a question with just 1 attempt. And it's really wonderful of all the contestants to have given us an undertaking to monitor them on individual screens, which is done by the event management team. Those of you watching, just like the first wild card, I will not be able to show you the buzzer indicators here. I will do that in the final because the objective is to get to the final. And of course, all audience questions will be stacked for the cluster final. Remember, 3 will go through from the 6 of them. 1 question apiece, 1 point apiece for a correct answer, and 1 on a negative if you get it wrong. If you press the buzzer while I'm reading the question, you're indicating you know the answer, so I stop reading the moment you hit the buzzer. No visuals in the wild card. Before we start playing this wild card, let's take a look at our 6 finalists who are fighting for 3 slots in the cluster final. With us here today as our first contender from SAIL Bokaro is Shubham. Welcome to you, Shubham. Neighboring Shubham as our second contender representing Cure Bay is Ramdas. Welcome to you. As our third contender here today is Alankar representing BAVS. Welcome to you, Alankar. As our next contender, also from SAIL Bokaro, we have with us Johnny Sher. Welcome to you. Well, the steel lineup continues, but we move to Bhilai. And from the Bhilai steel plant, SAIL again, is Umesh. Welcome, Umesh. And completing our lineup here today from the beautiful city of Jamshedpur, representing Tata Steel, is Jaideep. Welcome, Jaideep. Those then, ladies and gentlemen, are 6 contenders for the 3 remaining slots. Let's move straight in to play this wildcard. Question number 1. MergeCo, MERGECO, is a new merger that happened in September 2021. This is a merger between Sony Pictures Networks India and which giant? Shubham.
Is it Z?
+1 to you on Z. He gets that right and he's underway with the first answer. As we go to question number 2. The resultant of an experience meant that a company started just outside the Detroit airport. The experience was that the founder saw a novel idea while flying bombers with Southeast Asia. A loan of 75,000, 3 vehicles is all that the owner required to start this idea in Detroit. Which giant started in 1946 in this manner and is today found just about outside every airport? It's a very interesting idea which started outside the Detroit airport, today is available at most airports. Nobody on the buzzer, 5 seconds of time, lapsing. Tough when questions become stories, and that's been the way we've crafted it at Tata Crucible. The answer, Avis Rent-A-Car. Well, when you narrate stories, people think of it differently. As we go to the third one on the buzzer. What does it mean in the modern world if someone gets Plutoed? In a corporate world, if someone says, oh, he's been Plutoed, what does it mean? It's new jargon in workplace. Shubham's going for it. Yes, Shubham.
Removing from the organization or league or from the board.
You got to give me a better answer, Shubham.
Someone earlier in the board of directors and he's not now removed from the board.
Well, that's a -1 to you. In the modern world after the pandemic, one of the things that has come in is while we were all so used to the world of increments and promotions, today people are embracing a new world of demotions, where the company is saying, I can't take you back in the same position, I'll take you back in a lower position, but I'm still willing to take you back. And it's very interesting where you get Plutoed because your normal status is not being restored to you and you're being relegated. So it's not that you dropped out of the company, you're still part of the system, but you're relegated in status. Question number 4. Well, no one off to a start of the 3 questions because Shubham's gained and lost. Question 4. In a world today where we are extremely driven by symbol-heavy communication, like for example, the and is an ampersand and so on, what symbol represents the lemniscate? The lemniscate is a mathematical symbol that is often represented, including on our keyboard sometime. What is the correct symbol for a lemniscate? 5 seconds of time, nobody on the buzzer. Questions are tough and probing. The answer is the infinity symbol, which is like a sleeping 8. And, well, you should have got that. largely an engineering belt, so I would have believed a lemniscate should have got cracked. So you would know your math well. Question number 5. Here we go. Symbolics was a very important moment in world history. What did symbolics symbolically start in the world of technology? Symbolics. No one taking a chance. 5 seconds of time running through on this one as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the answer, the first ever .com domain to have been registered was symbolic, and rightfully symbolic.com. Question number 6. The London Business School has a leadership series of lessons on the winning way. This is Shubham's gone for it. Yes, Shubham.
Harsha Bhogle and Rita Bhogle.
Well, -1 to you. London Business School. That's a -1 to you. The answer, Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson is the man who teaches the winning ways at the London Business School. As we move to question number 7, Shubham is on -1. We've got a really nervous wild card according to me. Question 7. Here we go. Founded in 1907, this company has very clear instructions to avoid signal lights. The American Messenger Company, though preferred yellow originally, but was advised against using yellow because it would be very difficult to clean yellow vehicles. Hence, they chose a different color, which is what they are known by as a giant across the world. To ensure they reach their destinations on time, they use their free rides. Ramdas is giving it a go. Go ahead, Ramdas.
FedEx.
FedEx. Well, -1 to you, Ramdas, on that. Well, he thought it through. He got the cluster right or the category right. The answer, UPS. The brown instead of the yellow. Well, that's a bad miss. And the UPS trucks therefore became the big browns across the world. Question number 8. Here we go. This famous sportswear brand has taken fitness very seriously. In 2016-17, they actually banned candy bars, white bread, soda, pasta from their kitchen and cafeteria at various of their corporate locations. This brand is headquartered in Canton, Massachusetts. It's a brand that is today moved to multiple owners and is very symbolic of an African species. Umesh is giving it a shot from Bhilai. Yes, Umesh?
This should be Reebok.
+1. He gets a +1 on Reebok. Well played out. Tough stories coming up there. 2 questions still remaining. I tell you what, anything can happen on these 2 questions. Here we go. Question number 9. In the world of e-commerce, Scott and Tobias were attempting to open Snow Devil, an online store for snowboarding equipment. They were basically using open source web applications, well, Ruby on Rails. Alankar has gone for it. Yes, Alankar?
Oh, I'm guessing this is Shopify.
Shopify will give you a +1 as well. All right, he's getting that absolutely right, and he gets himself a +1. Well, 1 final question remaining. It's going to be tough ask for our contestants to qualify into that final. Ramdas and Shubham need to get 1 right to actually force a tiebreaker. If Janisher or Joydeep get 1, they'll actually go through. Well, final question. The first chairman of TCS was JRD Tata. Everybody knows that. Oh, Ramdas has taken a risk on it. Now he's got to predict what I was going to ask. Go ahead, Ramdas.
Nani Palkiwala.
What's your logic on the answer?
I believe you are looking for the second chairman of TCS.
Ramdas. Luck on his side, +1 to him. Oh, beautiful answer. The great Nani Palkiwala will put him on a tiebreaker with Shani Sher and Jaideep. So 3 of them on a tiebreaker, 2 of them going through on 1 point. It doesn't normally happen at 1 point, but Umesh and Alankar are into the final, and we've got a tiebreaker between the remaining 3 of them. Ramdas just surviving with Nani Palkiwala helping him out there. Between the 3 of you, whoever gets it right goes into the final. It's a tiebreaker, and it's not going to be an easy scenario to play it out. Here's the first tiebreaker question. Well, privatization of airports in India and solar-powered airports were both tremendous challenges that were taken up by the government. One state pioneered this initiative to create a PPP model of an airport. Ramdas is going for it. Yes, Ramdas.
This is the Cochin Airport, the Sial Airport.
The Cochin Airport. Well, they're slowly trying to make it a 100% solar-powered airport, but for the moment, it'll power Ramdas into the final. Oh, well played, Ramdas. Clever answer on the last one, and he gets a +1 on the Cochin Airport. Tough questions here in the wildcard. 3 of them qualifying into the final from these, Ramdas, Alankar, and Umesh, to join the other 3. On the other side, we have the cluster final. You don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. You're with me, Pick Brain, as we are going to pick the cluster final here, with 6 of them qualifying from those 2 wildcards. Remarkable battles of 2 different types, as we've got these 6 lining up in front of us. Let's take a look at who they are as you are going to watch this cluster final. Covers a huge terrain of states. And before we get to all of that, a first look at the 6 of our finalists. With us here today, qualifying as our first finalist, representing SAIL from Bokaro, is Subhashish. Welcome to you, Subhashish. Neighboring Subhashish as our second finalist, also from SAIL Bokaro, here today is Rishi. Welcome, Rishi, to the final. As we move across to our third contender here today from SAIL Bokaro, it is Anand Raj. Welcome to you. Well, these are all teammates in different eras of quizzing, all quizzing alone now because of the digital version, and all heavyweights from the steel region. As we cut across to the other side to bring in some flavor into an otherwise steel-dominating cluster, representing Cure Bay, with us here today is Ramdas. Welcome to you, Ramdas. Neighboring him as our next finalist is Alankar, representing BAVS ECPL in this final. Welcome to you. And completing our lineup from the Bhilai steel plant from the Chhattisgarh sector from SAIL, which is SAIL Bhilai now, is Umesh. Welcome to you. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we've all been looking at this world where the world has come together in a difficult year to go faster, higher and stronger, celebrating the spirit of camaraderie and sport with sporting spirit. Crucible is no different. It is also a coming together of great talent, celebrating the spirit of knowledge and to celebrate moving forward with that knowledge. Well, what's really required for all of us to move from a pandemic into post-pandemic, in our view, like the Olympics, is 3 things. You need strength, you need strategy, and you need speed. These are going to be the elements that will govern us as individuals, as brands, corporations, or even as contestants at a Tata Crucible. So, we'll pick action on the first frontier of our game here today. It's time to test the strength of our contenders. Here it comes. 100, the value of a right answer. 100 is what you lose if you get it wrong. All buzzers up as we get started with the first one on your screen now. This is a famous campaign which was released by an equally famous giant in India. The campaign was more inspirational and led the industrial revolution of India in many ways. Which great giant from the region you represent are we talking about? Anand Raj has gone for it. Yes, Anand.
I am guessing Tata Steel.
Tata Steel is his guess. Well, had we been at Jamshedpur, which normally would be our location to meet for this quiz, that would have been an appropriate first question, as it perhaps is even today. 100 to Anand as he gets started in this final. Let's pick action on the second one, coming up on your screens now. What is the brand that is discussed in this book? From the world of Procter & Gamble, it was called The Rising Whatever, Lessons from 165 Years of Brand Building at Procter & Gamble. It was a beautiful title to a great book that speaks of the rise of a superb brand from the world of Procter & Gamble. Appropriate title in that sense. Ramdas is taking a shot at it. Go ahead, Ramdas.
I'm guessing it is Tide.
You're guessing the answer is Tide. You get that absolutely right. He'll get himself a plus 100 on the Rising Tide. So Ramdas getting 100 on the second one. Let's move on to the next one. Two of them are on 100. Early days here today at this cluster. As we move to the next question on your screens, here it comes. The prison notebooks. The term that gained prominence when it was used by Antonio Gramsci in his book, The Prison Notebooks, basically exemplified precision, specialization, and synchronization from a company. Rishi has gone for it. Yes, Rishi.
Okay, I'll take my chances. I think Nike's Just Do It phrase came out of this book.
Nike's Just Do It came out of this book. We'll give him a minus 100. The term that got coined out of this book was a term called Fordism. Fordism became a term in that era which was symbolic of synchronization, precision, specialization, all within a same company, a tribute to Henry Ford and his drive for these qualities. As we move to the next question, on the buzzer, question coming up now. Whose campaign is this? Anand Raj off in a flash.
I think this is of KFC.
KFC's Plate of Hope. Absolutely right. He gets 100. Quick and fast, 100 in his kitty as we go to the next one on your screens now. The family of the person on the right of your screens has a Madras connection. Assa Abloy is a Swedish conglomerate. A famous brand used in many of our homes came into existence because of this alliance. The gentleman after whom these beautiful, safe brands were named was the founder of the brand. His ancestors were from the same family as one great man who served as the president of the East India Company at Madras. Now owned by Assa Abloy. Tell me this famous lock brand. Ramdas has gone for it. Go ahead, Ramdas.
Chubb.
Lock brand. Go on.
So this is for the Chubb brand of locks, so which has been used tremendously for a long time back. So this has been borrowed for a lot of inputs after India got independence. Godrej borrowed the ideas. Number of them borrowed the ideas.
So your answer is Chubb locks.
Yeah.
Give him a -100 on that. The locks that I was looking for in this context, even more in reverence, is Yale locks. This is Linus Yale, and a tough one really here, and deep probing questions. Tough region, like I said. As we go to the next one, Ramdas missing out on that. The final one on your screens now. In the first frontier. This is one of India's most innovative brands in its segment. Established by a young technocrat in the late 60s. His name was Vinod Patel. A category leader. The company that got created is Almonard. What do they specialize in? Almonard is an industry leader. Alankar is taking a shot. Yes, Alankar.
So Almonard basically makes table fans and related electronics. Table fans basically, Almonard table fans and ceiling fans as well.
Well, give it to you on fans. They're more popular actually for their industrial fans. And they also got into the home segment just to, have a diversification. But 100 going there for Alankar. Early days, ladies and gentlemen, in this final, very early days actually. Nothing really for us to predict. But before I take you through to the scores, let me ask you a couple of audience questions here. If you're watching this quiz, just use your chat box wherever you are, whichever platform you're watching this quiz. You get it right and you're quick, the Tatas will get in touch with you and you could win a prize. So here's my question to you. Google created Alphabet. Everybody knows that. Who became Alphabet's first CEO? I'll repeat that. Who became Alphabet's first CEO? Key in the answer right there and you could win a prize. For the moment, here's a look at Crucible Quotient on your screens now. On your screen, this is the story and the way it's unfolding. Anand Raj, early lead with 200. Ramdas gaining and losing. Alankar just getting onto that scorecard on that last question. As we move to the second frontier of our battle here today, it can make a big difference to the outcome of the way the game gets played. Time for us to play on their strategies. Here it comes. As we clear the buzzers and wait for the first one to come our way, on your screen, here it comes. Which giant owned this brand, Subhashish?
Tata.
You got to give me a better answer.
Tomco.
Well answered. Well answered on that one. Tata Oil Mills at that time used to make toilet soaps for our country. Jai the brand, Tomco the answer. 100. As we go to the second one on your screens now. Which luxury brand would you associate to the H&N collection, which is the hijab and niqab collection? Basically, they said HNDA. Oh, Rishi has stopped me. Yes, Rishi. Go ahead.
I think it's Balenciaga.
-100 to you on that. He took a risk. Did not really wait for me. The answer is Dolce Gabbana. And they have really brought in luxury into a new arena that they are focusing on. As we go to the next one, on your screens now. This company decided to work on a global brand strategy. The brand strategy resulted in 2 simple words. Anand Raj.
Make believe.
Lovely. Oh, beautifully played on that one. Make believe We'll give him another 100 as he slowly begins to build on the lead that he is establishing. On to the next one on your screens. Question coming up now. Where will you find these words? 1, people are good. 2, every conflict can be removed. 3, every situation, no matter how complex it looks, is exceedingly simple. 4, every situation, Ram Das is going for it. Who do you make of this? Or where would you find this? Yes, Ram Das.
This is Carnegie.
Dale Carnegie. Well, minus 100 to you. He's taking his chances. This is the grave of Eliyahu Goldratt. Theory of constraints, and this is what you would find on his grave. Well, tough questions, probing ones as we go to the next one. On your screen, here's the next one. He is the co-founder of an extremely important fintech company in India, Anand Raj.
Bharat Pay.
Everything seems to be going right for Anand Raj at this point in time. From Sale Bokaro, another 100 to his kitty. He's moving from strength to strength, and he's got to 400, if I am not wrong. As we move to the next one, on your screens now. 1816 to 1892. Anand Raj, off in a flash.
I think it's a Siemens.
The infographic history of Siemens, another 100. Oh, he's really beginning to stamp his authority on this quiz as Anand Raj. The others will really have to play out of their skin to get past him. Another 100, and he's playing it rather effortlessly now. On to the next one on your screens now. This is Meera Shankar. She's known to have served Anand Raj again. Yes, Anand.
I think she served for ITC.
Brilliant. Oh, that's an outstanding answer. The first woman on the board of directors of ITC is a remarkable 100. He's moved to 600. It looks like he's really playing a flawless game here today. The next one coming up on your screens now. This is a sculpture named the Fossor, F-O-S-S-O-R. Artist named Wantley Patel created this. It is said to be Europe's largest metalwork sculpture. At whose headquarters would you find this? Ram Das is taking a shot. Your mic, Ram Das.
ArcelorMittal. ArcelorMittal.
ArcelorMittal. Well, he went on the steel logic with metalwork. The answer, these are all made from parts of JCB vehicles. Here's the next one coming on your screen now. All of this will lead you to a very important ingredient. From cornflakes to Nor, Rishi is giving it a shot. Go ahead, Rishi.
I think the important ingredient is corn.
The
Millet.
ingredient, according to you, is corn. Well, he'll get a minus on that one. Well, the lady in the apron would actually have been your biggest clue to all of those. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is Ajinomoto. Well, Ajinomoto owns the Knorr brand in Japan. They have an alliance with cornflakes, and there was, attempt to bring in Ajinomoto there. But nonetheless, the answer that I was looking for, Ajinomoto, the last visual would have been your big clue. As we go to the next one, on your buzzers, here it comes. All of this, Umesh is fast. Super fast, even before I could utter a word. Yes, Umesh.
So I'm taking a guess to be Michael Jordan.
You're taking a guess for this to be Michael Jordan. Can you give me a better answer?
Means that is his patented logo, means Nike, Michael Jordan, NBA, it's directly related to him. Baseball as well.
Give it to you.
just a guess.
Air Jordan, nonetheless, we'll give it to you on that. 100 to you. You've covered just about everything one could ask for. So he gets his first 100 is Umesh. I think a couple of them are on 100. We'll take a look at who they are. 2 more questions to go in this strategy frontier. Here's the next one coming on your screens now. It will lead you to an extremely important location that inspires children. A design that is inspired by the Sanchi Stupa. The construction of this was largely supported by the Dalmia family. It's a location that is an inspiration for children, not just children, but largely children. Nobody on the buzzer, 5 seconds of time ticking away. The answer is the MP Birla Planetarium in Kolkata, a splendid structure, design inspired by India's own Sanchi Stupa. And one final question remaining as no one scores on that in this frontier. The final question on your screen now. All of this will lead you to one important institution. Alankar is taking a shot. Go ahead, Alankar.
I'm guessing this could be IIM Shillong.
Why?
I think Ankita Gajjar is from IIM Shillong, and there's this APJ Abdul Kalam. He delivered his very last speech at IIM Shillong. He used to also teach there. He used to take a few classes there. So I'm guessing IIM Shillong.
He'll get himself 100 on that one. Ankita Gajjar is not from there. She's from NID Ahmedabad, if I'm not wrong. But she designed their logo. Kalam's last speech was indeed at IIM Shillong. IIM Shillong was formerly known as the Rajiv Gandhi Institute for Management at Shillong before it became the Indian Institute of Management at Shillong. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 2 frontiers done. Anand Raj is playing well, but we will show you how well just after the next couple of audience questions for you, and then we'll share Crucible Quotient. But let me ask you this question. Which company launched something called the RS Computer Shoe, which basically, where RS stood for a running system? They're actually planning to bring it back into action. All you got to tell me is which famous shoe brand. Key in the answers into that text box. If you are quick and right, you stand to win a prize. Well, let me ask you one more question before I go to the scorecard. So let me ask you this. All right. Many of you would probably like this if you are ladies of a generation which was completely obsessed with this. This is going to be an easy question. That's a good clue. It's actually the romance imprint of British publisher Harlequin, founded way back in the 1900s, 1908, 1909, that kind of era, by Gerald and Charles. They were general publishers, but they basically moved into escapist fiction, appealed to women world over, and, well, like they say, the rest is history. Which publication or which series of books am I referring to? If you're a lady, you've got a good chance to crack this. We take a look at Crucible Quotient coming up on your screen. There it is. Oh, we've got a big battle brewing there for the second place. Anand Raj is looking good on 600. But then there's one entire round still to go, so he's not out of danger. Alankar can challenge him. Subhashish and Umesh on 100 can challenge him as well. All of them have won this quiz before, so they know how to play the game in a final frontier. So does Anand Raj. Well, Ramdas in a spot of bother, as is Rishi, because they're on the negatives. We move to the final frontier of our game, the essence being speed. Here it comes. 6 final questions that I will read out to you. Nothing appears on your screen, but you can play at your speed and decide to stop your contestants from buzzing by deciding when you want to stop me from speaking. The moment you press the buzzer, I stop reading the question, so you play it to your advantage and take a call on when you want to stop me. 6 final questions, 100 the value. We begin with the first one, the final frontier, question number 1. When this product was in its initial trial phase, when this product, not company, product was in its initial trial phase, it was marketed as treatment for heart conditions and for causing of pressure in the chest. Subhashish.
Viagra.
Viagra was actually treatment for heart conditions? Well, Subhashish certainly seems to know a thing or two about Viagra. We'll not question him on that any further. But for the moment, we will move to the next question as he gets 100. Here's the next one. Hands on the buzzer. Question number 2. It's a defined product in that country. The flag features 4 bow leaves. That's B-O, bow leaves, symbolizing Buddhism and its influence over the country, where each of the leaves stand for 4 virtues: kindness, friendliness, happiness, and equanimity. It also features an animal on its flag. Which country has such crystal clear defined product features for its national flag? An animal, 4 leaves for kindness, friendliness, happiness, equanimity. All these are bow leaves which symbolize Buddhism and its influence on the country. Ramdas is taking a chance. He has to bounce back. Could be a little late, but yes.
Japan.
Well, Japan is a simple rising sun. That would have been a white, simple flag. Well, minus 100 to him. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, Sri Lanka. Well, turns out to be a tough one for him. As we go to the next one, hands on the buzzer. The ICF is an association governed by Swiss law, founded in 1988 at Chennai in India. Its head office is in Zurich in Switzerland. Which sport does it govern? Alankar is going for it. Founded in Chennai, governed by Swiss law.
This is Carom, International Carom Federation. Carom.
Carom had a council body founded in Chennai but governed out of Switzerland with Swiss law. Absolutely perfect. He's got the red in his pocket with that hit and he's got a crucial 100. Question number 4. In 2013, the Oxford English Dictionary selected this as the word of the year. It is today, unfortunately, a cause of death at many tourist spots. Ramdas. Go ahead.
A pandemic.
Oh, minus 100 again to you on that. Well, why would pandemic causes deaths at tourist spots? Fair enough. But 2013 word of the year. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, selfie. Selfie deaths are becoming a very big problem in the world, where people try to stand in precarious positions to click selfies and unfortunately topple over. Here we go. Penultimate question. This is actually a type of a computer program that was initially designed to prevent phosphorus burns on CRT and plasma computer screens. Today, it's commonly used to display attitudes, etc. What is this that got created essentially to avoid phosphorus burn-ins on CRTs and plasma monitors? Everyone tends to, have one of their own. What am I describing? Nobody on the buzzer, 5 seconds of time ticking. So it's going to come down to 2 people after this question. The answer is a screensaver. a screensaver was actually a solution for phosphorus burn-ins on computers of that era or on basically monitors of that era. Final question, Subhashish versus Alankar for the runner-up. If Alankar manages to hold on, he'll finish runner-up. Final question, hands on the buzzer. First created by Jojo Industries, that's G-O-J-O, in the year 1988. This innovation was marketed as Purell, P-U-R-E-L-L, and has a massive market share over the last 1.5 years. What innovative product is this that has seen Alankar? He's taking the risk of his life. Why would he do that? Go ahead, Alankar. Oh boy, brave heart.
So, Purell is basically the market leader in sanitizers. So they make a lot of sanitizers and they are the market leader in that segment.
So what's your answer?
Sanitizers. They basically make sanitizers and sanitizer sprays.
If Alankar gets this right, he'll finish runner-up. Right it is, Alankar. We'll get 100. Oh, look at that joy. Whether you're quizzing on stage or online, the joy is very much the same. But ladies and gentlemen, in that remarkable final, let's not forget a very solid performance. As Crucible comes up on your screen, here we go. A phenomenal final there with Anand Raj on 600. Not wanting to do anything towards the end. He knew it doesn't matter whether you win with 700 or 800 as long as you get into the nation's top 12. He's a mature player. He's been here. He's a great ambassador of this sport, as are the others. In fact, we've got Subhashish, who's won this before. Umesh, who's won this before. Ramdas is the first ever Tata Crucible champion in the history of this great quiz. So we've got some history, legacy, and some outstanding players in this wonderful final. But at the end of the day, it is Anand Raj with his composure and clarity of answers with a 600 as he moves into the nation's top 12. On 400, it's Alankar who finishes runner-up. But ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed our pleasure and privilege at this stage to bring in our guest of honor who will do the honors digitally. My pleasure and privilege to welcome the Vice President for Corporate Services from Tata Steel, Mr. Chanakya Chowdhury. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. And to get started, sir, your reaction, if we could start from there. This is a quiz that started in your backyard at Jamshedpur. So all yours, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. First of all, I must good afternoon, everyone. And thanks, Giri, for creating the excitement while we were going on, including the initial part of the glitch. Nevertheless, I think these quizzes always bring out the excitement. And I was also trying to pen down my responses while I was listening to your questions. But I must say, I'm happy that I was not a part of the quiz, answering the quiz questions that you were asking, because I would have fared very badly. Nevertheless, I'm surely delighted to be a part of this year's Tata Crucible 18th edition, second time using the virtual platforms. And I think I must also say that this knowledge initiative platform created by the Tata Group, which kind of invites all the bright minds of the country to come on the platform and fight for the top slots through different regional rounds. It has surely established itself as an event and a day in the calendar of many of the enthusiasts, like what we saw just now, the 6 finalists of this round. I must say that maybe by force, pandemic has also pushed us to use technology the best possible way to ensure that we continue with all the events, activities, and initiatives that we have. And in the end, I would just say that all of you really make us proud, especially Tata Steel and Tata Group. And I also congratulate the winners, both Anand and Alankar, who've done so well during this round. Hats off to all of you. Continue your intellectual pursuits. It just keeps everyone active to have such mental capabilities going on. So thank you once again and all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Just request you to stay by for another moment and do the honors digitally. To our runner-up here as we get in those quick graphics, Alankar finishes second here today from this cluster, wins himself 18,000. And the young lad is absolutely happy and delighted. I think that's his first runner-up title in the corporate sector. So these are youngsters who are coming into the corporate fraternity. And wonderful to have a youngster stamping his authority in a tough region. It's not an easy region to be a runner-up. You got some remarkable quizzers who show up every year. So congratulations, Alankar. Lovely achievement for you. Well done. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, our champion, well, another one to his kitty. But these are quizzers who are not going to look at winning a regional round. They're going to be looking at how to get into a national final. I'm sure Anand Raj would be aiming at that. It's not a nation's top 12, but a nation's top 6 that will matter more to him. But for now, you still need to go there one step at a time. And that step is what he crosses, getting 35,000 to his kitty from Sale Bokaro, Anand Raj in the nation's top 12. Congratulations to you, Anand. And ladies and gentlemen, it's that moment for us to thank our guest of honor. It is the support of these senior people at the Tatas, even during a pandemic, to ensure that a knowledge property like this continues to strive and thrive. It really underlines resilience and the importance to keep moving forward. And I think that is what the Tata Group has symbolized at every stage as we've grown as a nation. So truly appreciate the patronage and the support from people like Mr. Chowdhury and the others. Thank you so much, sir, for taking time and joining us here today. Truly appreciate. As much as all of us here on the screen do look forward fervently to be back at lovely Jamshedpur. We'd certainly prefer that. We'd certainly prefer that to any digital medium. I miss Jamshedpur. I miss the guest houses and the lovely food. So I do look forward to being back there. But truly appreciate your presence, sir. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, Anand Raj qualifying with a very carefully crafted 600, playing the last rounds with great amount of maturity. And finishing runner-up here today is young Alankar, as he stamps his authority with a very good 400. And the one finally coming on the final question, really taking him through to that runner-up title. But as we move closer and closer to the nation's top 12, Anand makes it from this cluster, as we will move to the next cluster. All of that coming up. But for now, from me, Pig Brain, from the entire team at Tata Crucible, truly appreciate your presence. Do take care, stay safe. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.